and you can quote this on me. There is no way the Orioles or Red Sox make the playoffs this season. Uh, yeah, yeah. There's no way. There's no way.
I set the bar really low at the NBA predictions.
I don't think all Mavs fans look into the stats like I do.
It's not the great value Target brand toilet paper or whatever. It's the Charmin Ultra Strong.
I don't know if Nick Nurse is the coach for the Raptors. I don't know if he's the reason why they won the 2019 championship. I feel like that was more of a team effort.
The Mavs cannot say we do not miss Seth Curry shooting threes.
This questions the firing of Dwayne Casey, who I think is a very underrated coach.
To me, the Capitals really pushed all their chips for this season.
Hello, I'm Mike Grimes, and you've been listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. A lot has come out in a few days, but we're in the MLB season. Awards are coming up. And we've talked about the awards. And I don't know if we covered the Cy Young when we did the MVP. But Austin, I thought I heard you say Garrett Cole. I didn't really know who to pose Garrett Cole. Evaldi was in it in the middle, but Evaldi, of course, has fallen off. But this tweet from Fox Sports said less than 0.20 points separate the top 4 ERA leaders in the American League. And the list is Garrett Cole, Sonny Gray, Kyle Bradish, Luis Castillo, in that order. And the man to talk about that order, Austin.
Yeah, I didn't realize how close it had gotten. I knew that Garrett Cole was still leading the AL and ERA, and he's still my favorite if we want to talk for the Cy Young at the moment. I think that the AL Cy Young right now is being led by Garrett Cole, but it is interesting, and I do think the ERA battle matters a lot more than the wins battle. The most wins that a starting pitcher gets, I don't think matters all that much. Luckily, we've kind of passed where that does matter back in the early 2010s to late aughts. But now we've gotten to the point to where they realize, I think, that they're not the reason why you win and lose games if the team is bad.
Yeah, and didn't Jacob deGrom in one of his Cy Young when Jacob deGrom, didn't he have a losing winning record when he won the Cy Young? Was it 2020? No.
No, he didn't win in 2020. He didn't have a losing record, but both years he did it. He had a 10-9 and 11-8.
Okay, that may have been it. I just remember that, but still, he was insane. So I get your point with wins. And while we're talking about the AL, I think Garrett Cole has been the most consistent. And I guess I also probably another thing when I saw Kyle Bradish from Baltimore, I was like, I've been hating on the Orioles starting pitching. Maybe I was wrong to hate them for it, since one of their starting pitchers is in the top ERA and is close in the top ERA for the AL.
Yeah, that's a good point. It just feels like the rest of the team kind of is, or the rest of the starting lineup or the starting pitching has really struggled. So I still think they have some starting pitching problems. But who's your AL leader right now for Cy Young if you had to vote?
I'll probably go with Cole. I don't love anyone else the other way. I would have loved Evaldi, but he's fallen out. Valdez, I'm not sure. It seems like he kind of has a weird start every now and then.
I agree.
And now I'm trying to think of this for the NL. So we have Garrett Cole at 290. Do you know who the two leaders are in the ERA in just MLB?
In MLB, it's probably Blake Snell and Justin Steele.
You are correct. Do you want to take a guess of what their ERAs are at or close to?
Blake Snell, I think, is 2.5 and Justin Steele's 2.55.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. So that's insane to me. You have Garrett Cole, who's our Cy Young winner for the AL, which I think many people are. And you have him at 2.5, and then Justin Steele, 2.55. I kind of opt for Steele for my NL Cy Young. I know Blake Snell is incredible. To me, he's just a little bit too consistent. or too inconsistent. I feel Justin Steele has been atop of the ranks, and I just really like Steele, and I feel he doesn't have the just speed factor. I think he's a great pinpoint accuracy guy.
Yeah, here's my problem with Blake Snell, and this is where you bring up inconsistency. Blake Snell has a 1.25 WHIP, walks, and plus hits divided by innings pitched. He walks a lot of batters. He is tied for, I think, the close to the most walks. He is the most walks in MLB. Blake
Oh
Snell does
wow.
most
Okay.
walks. That is not a good stat to be leading for the Cy Young. And I do think those free passes are the advantage that Steele has because he does not do that. He does not walk everybody. Like I said, let me check just to make sure. Yes, 1.252 is Blake Snell's whip. And let me go to Steele.
Oh, his whip. I have it right there. Yeah. I
It
know
is
it is.
1.138. So much better. He also has the lowest home run per nine in the NL. He has the most wins. Again, that shouldn't matter. Best win percentage, that shouldn't matter. But he also has the best ERC plus. The Padres have a pitcher's park. It is one of the best parks for pitchers in the entire league. I believe it's the third best. It's a pitcher's park. It's easier to be a pitcher in that versus others. And the 10th worst for a pitcher is the Cubs Stadium, Wrigley. So Steele's making starts at a harder place, and he's pitching basically just as good while not walking as many batters or even close to that.
Yeah. I don't know if I missed it, but did you say the exact number between how many walks Snell has and Steele?
No, I haven't said that.
Okay.
So
But
Snell
yeah,
has
I
the
have
most in the
that.
league.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
that pulled up if you want.
Oh yeah, sure.
So 89 walks, which is most of the league, as you were saying. Justin Steele's only at 33 walks.
Yeah, and there's a thing that Steele missed some games with injury, but if you looked at innings pitched, right,
Yeah.
Blake Snell's only pitched 3 more innings. So I think the fact that he's made uh Snell's made 28 starts, Steele has made 26. So he's made 2 less starts, but he only has 3 less innings. So I think the difference is negligible.
So it seems like you and I are both on the Steele train. However, Blake Snell's still having an incredible season. I'm just not a huge fan of Snell. As you mentioned, the walks. I think he's very reliant on his off ball. That's what I've heard a lot of people talking about, his off ball. Like his curveball, and if it's not hitting, if it's not locating, then he's walking a bunch of guys, which is shown in the walks. But if it is working, he's getting a lot of Ks, and he does have that over Steele. So it's not. I understand people saying Snell. I personally like Steele better than Snell. He's as I mentioned, too inconsistent. But he has 201 Ks versus Steele's 153. It's 11.7 Ks per nine, and Steele's averaging 9.1 Ks per nine. So that's the thing. But like you said, the innings pitched isn't more. I think it's gonna be a tough battle, but I hope Steele wins it. So that's my thing. They're probably the two guys leading, and if we want to go for a third guy, I would almost say Kodai Senga.
Yeah, probably Senga. Senga's probably uh, the guy. It's really close when you go to like the top, when you get past third, in my opinion, or when you get past second, in my opinion, because the top two really are so close. But if you go past that, uh, I do think Zach Gallen is close to Senga. I do think Wheeler is close, even though he's a 3.49 ERA. He actually has the same amount of WAR as Steele. I think Logan Webb, who has more WAR than Steele, it's because they pitched a lot more innings. That's the difference. But I don't think innings is as important when you look at ERA and see those top two. But I would put also Strider's really close in my opinion because of his strikeouts and his fielding independent pitching being 2.89. I'm actually gonna go with Strider at number 3, and then probably Senga at 4.
Strider's incredible. And you're talking about Wheeler. Do you want to guess what his FIP is at? Or WHIP is at?
Who's
Zach Wheeler.
Wheeler's whip? 1.1. What is it?
Close. It's 1.05.
Wow, that's impressive.
Which ties Garrett Cole, who actually has a lower whip than Snell and Steele, which is something. But yeah, I see your point with innings pitched, especially because it depends on the manager too. Some managers are quick with their innings pitched. I think a more newer generation of managers versus old school guys like I think Bochy does it too. He lets his starters ride, but he also needs to. And then the Astros manager, which I can't remember his name,
Dusty Baker.
Dusty Baker is a guy I think notorious for letting a starting pitchers pitch more versus a guy that has a quick hand. So yeah, Strider's strikeouts are incredible. Logan Webb is also a really good pitcher as well. So is Zach Wheeler. But yeah, I do agree. It's between Snell and Steele. And if someone was choosing, I hope Steele would do it because I think that'd be a great story. And I'm just not a huge fan of Snell. I think Snell is a very divisive pitcher for people.
Yeah, I don't like how much he walks batters. I do think guys getting on base matters, and the fact that he is walking so many batters could eventually make his ERA even higher. But I think it's because he knows he's in a pitcher's park that it's really hard to hit homers out of, that if he walks a guy, it's not necessarily all that bad because they're not necessarily going to hit that guy in.
Yeah, that's very true. And the walks, sometimes a ball could be called a strike depending on the umpire. So that
True.
could be something too. But the number of walks concerns me. I don't. You don't want that in a pitcher. You want big Ks, but you also want less walks. So I'm intrigued when it's happening. But yeah, I think it's close, and it's becoming closer as the end of the season. And I'm very intrigued. And also, does playoff implications affect this versus Snell versus
They shouldn't. I don't think they should.
Okay.
I think those should be separated. The player and the team should be separated.
All right. Well, yeah, I think you and I are both in agreement on AL, NL. I think they're close races, and there probably won't be a unanimous vote, but I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, I can't wait.
There we go. One more thing before I just remembered this. Do you think Ohtani was in this conversation before the UCL injury?
No, I think Cole's been that good. It would have been close, and if he started pitching better, like he was actually starting to pitch better at the end of the year, and if he would have kept pitching like he did the last 2 weeks, yeah, probably. But I don't know if that was sustainable.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't, but I would love to. Yeah, that's a little. What if we can talk about that? But yeah, that's all we got. Let us know what you think if there's someone we're missing, and thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.